So welcome to this video, and I'm willing to bet that these look a bit familiar to you. Usually folks have done a little something with these some point in a previous math class. And this is compound interest or continuously compounded interest. You want to make sure you know these two formulas and how all of the numbers work in each of the formulas. And P is your principal. Okay, that's the initial amount going into the account. And then you have an interest rate of R. Okay, so there's your R there. T is your number of years. And notice that that unit is established as years there. And your T is up here in the exponent. N is the number of times that you compound over the course of the year. So N could vary depending on how often they're compounding. You'll see N is used twice here in the bottom of this fraction and up here in the exponent as well. So like if the interest is being compounded monthly, then what you would want to use is an N value of 12 because monthly, you think about how many times does that happen in a year, and there's 12 months in a year, so your N value would be 12. If they're saying quarterly, then you want to think how many times does that happen in the year, and that would be 4 times. Think of like 4 quarters in a dollar, right? Quarterly means 4 times a year. And so somewhere in the problem, they'll have to explain what you're using for the number of times it's being compounded. And so you'll adjust your N value accordingly. Now down here in this other formula, this is your continuous. And so you'll still have your principal, which is the same as what you had in the previous formula. And you'll have the interest rate as well. And you'll have T as the number of years. Okay, so you'll see a lot of the similar variables, except for instead of having this inside base of how you did it here, you just use a base of E. Okay, and they will say somewhere in the problem something to do with continuous or somehow describe the situation so that you know you are dealing with continuous interest. So like if you look at the problems here, you can see here they're mentioning quarterly, right? So this is going to be your first situation, your first formula here where you're going to be using the 4 for the N value. But then this next problem down here, you can see they use that word continuously. And so that's how you know you are switching into the second formula that deals with continuous interest. But all you're doing in these is you're just identifying all of the parts and plugging into the formula and calculating accordingly. All right. And I will see you guys in the next video. Have fun with your math.